A rapid strengthening La Nina, cooler temperatures, a monster storm to bring flash flooding rains to the southern plains, and your tropical weather update, guys, all in this video. Thank you guys for joining me again this morning. If you guys have not subscribed down below, please subscribe down below, guys. You guys are amazing, trying to get me closer to 1,000 subscribers. Again, I could not ask for a better audience. You guys are amazing, so thank you all for subscribing and liking the video as always. And good morning to you guys here on your Thursday morning. We're looking right now here at your La Nina update, and you can see here we are actually officially in a moderate La Nina as of here August 18th. We are actually starting to decline even further towards a strong La Nina here, I think, as we move into early in the middle of September. So that will be something to watch. And you can see over the last 7 days we've had a lot of bursts of some colder waters across the equatorial Pacific just to the west here of South America, and that's where we find these La Nina patterns as we move here through the rest of this year into the winter months and potentially into early spring. So definitely we'll continue to watch this here. It is strengthening, and we are officially in a moderate La Nina right now. So how does this influence our weather? Well, we have a couple things going on here. We have a heat wave across the western United States with those orange, pink, and purple shaded colors. Those are heat advisories, red flag warnings, and excessive heat warnings across portions of Washington State, Idaho, Oregon State, Nevada, and California, with a blistering heat wave across those areas. And across the green shaded areas here into Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico and West Texas, those are actually here flood watches that are set to be the precursor to what could be a monster storm to bring flash flooding rains across the desert Southwest and into North Texas as we move here through this weekend into early next week. So let's kind of look at the overall pattern here, breaking this down for you guys. We have a western trough, or actually a western ridge rather, across the western United States, an eastern trough across the eastern United States, and this is bringing the cooler temperatures to portions here of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast here as we speak. That is going to continue to drop its way to the south here through the day today. And then even as we get into the day tomorrow, we'll have another kind of upper level low start to develop across the upper Midwest and portions of the Missouri Valley, bringing some unsettled weather there and additional cooling temperatures across those areas. But yeah, with that upper level low starting to develop, we have that ridge right around that here to the west into the northern Rockies, all the way up into portions of Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba here into southern Canadian prairies as well. That could be seeing some of this blistering heat as we head here, especially into next week. Looking at your temperatures here expected for today, your August 18th on your Thursday, you could expect some nice cool weather across portions of the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and New England. A lot of 70s out there, some low to mid 80s as well. But more importantly here will be the lower humidity in conjunction with some of these cooler temperatures. But looking again to the south, a refreshing cool down for North Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. All these places have been cooling down here, and that will be the case as we move here into the afternoon. Middle to upper 80s in these areas, 89 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Wichita Falls, 86 in Oklahoma City, and 87 the forecasted high in Tulsa. But look off to the west, guys, here this afternoon. Widespread 90s and 100-degree temperatures from Washington and Oregon all the way south towards Southern California, where they will be blistering heat here across those areas as we head into this afternoon. We also do have a threat for some severe weather in a couple of zones here. These are marginal risks for severe weather, so we're not talking about a severe weather outbreak or anything like that, but just a couple of storms that could become strong to severe with some quarter-size hail and some 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. The tornado risk is actually below 2%. We're not looking at any rotating storms or anything like that either. The first marginal risk is across portions of the north central plains here, across northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota through central and eastern portions of Nebraska and far northern Kansas. Another area down across the immediate Gulf Coast here from east central Texas towards southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern portions there of Alabama, including the Mobile area, New Orleans, getting over there towards the Houston area as well. And then even a smaller marginal risk across portions of northeast Florida, including Jacksonville and Jacksonville Beach, and getting up towards Savannah, Georgia as well. Looking here at your composite reflectivity, what the radar could look like later on this afternoon, you can see some scattered showers and storms starting to develop across portions of the Gulf Coast westward towards North Texas. Across this area, we'll see some isolated storms. A couple of these storms could be, become severe, like I said, with some 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. Also watching some storms trying to develop across portions of the north central plains as well. A couple of these storms could also become strong to severe as well, and that will continue as we head here into the overnight hours with some storms lingering down with some heavier rainfall southward toward the Houston area, Corpus Christi, and perhaps even over towards San Antonio as we move into the overnight hours. We still got that monsoonal moisture continuing across portions of the Four Corners and across northwestern Mexico that will continue to be a conveyor belt for moisture across the monsoonal rainfall areas. So that definitely brings some much needed rainfall there. And that upper level low is beginning, will begin to start to take shape across the upper Midwest, bringing some unsettled, rainfall and some embedded thunderstorms across the Minnesota area, the Twin Cities, and into northwestern Wisconsin, the eastern Dakotas as we move into the overnight hours and your early Friday morning. Speaking of Friday, here Friday, August 19th, we'll still have all those cool temperatures across the northern plains and the upper Midwest with the cloudy conditions, with those rain showers and storms expected underneath that upper level low that will develop. We can expect some low to mid 70s there across the eastern Dakotas, all the way over towards the Twin Cities, even northern Wisconsin. We do have a little bit of some warmer air starting to return across the south central plains and the in the Missouri Valley, the mid south. Some of these areas getting back into the upper 80s to mid 90s, but still tolerable temperatures compared to what we've seen of late. But look at all the heat off to the west, guys. Much of California in the 100-degree temperature range, even getting up into portions of Oregon and Washington State. Some blistering heat will continue for your Friday afternoon. But looking at your Friday afternoon, like I said, we have that upper level low pressure system that will start to develop here across portions of the upper Midwest. That will slowly meander its way to the east southeast here through the weekend, getting toward the Chicagoland area and the western suburbs of Chicago as we move into your Saturday, and then starting to slowly meander across the southern Great Lakes and portions of the Ohio Valley as we move into your Sunday timeframe as well, bringing some unsettled weather and some rainfall up there as well. And some of this rainfall could be locally heavy at times, but again, we do have a marginal risk for some severe weather as we move into Friday across east central Iowa, northern Missouri, and eastern Kansas, including the Des Moines area, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, getting down towards the Kansas City area and maybe Topeka, Kansas, and Wichita as well. Some of these areas could be experiencing, again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail. And looking here at the reflectivity with the NAM model, you can see kind of a little bit of a cold front here dropping out of this low, this upper level low. Could be the lifting mechanism for what we can see for some scattered showers and storms. We also have some showers and storms across the southeast as well as those monsoonal areas as we head toward Friday morning. That will start to take shape across portions of the upper Midwest even more as we head into late Friday afternoon, the 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame with some more scattered showers and storms. And again, a couple of these could be strong across portions of the southeast, just some unsettled weather there as well with kind of the remnant energy with that southern stream jet that is just going to be so active across the portions of the southern United States. More scattered showers and storms there. Again, maybe a couple of stronger storms, but mainly the stronger storm activity will be across Iowa, Missouri, and eastern Kansas. And again, that monsoon will be going strong across the Four Corners on your Friday afternoon. And then as we get into Friday night, early Saturday morning, we'll start to see a complex of showers and storms develop across eastern Iowa, northern portions of Missouri here with all that lift with that cold front. We'll continue to see a lot of lifting of the air parcels, a lot of heavy rainfall with this, maybe some smaller hail and some gusty winds, but again, marginal severe weather is the emphasis on this as we head into Friday night. Looking at this kind of the setup for the severe weather as well, I kind of like to show you how we get to this point and how we could see some severe weather. Dew points will be in the low to mid 60s here across much of the Mississippi Valley and the western Great Lakes as we head into Friday afternoon. Instability, this is CAPE, convective available potential energy, where you see the grays here, that is up to around 1,500 joules per kilogram, where you see the yellows and oranges here showing up across Iowa, northern portions of Missouri, getting into eastern Kansas there. That's where we could get up to around 2,000 to perhaps 2,500 joules per kilogram, or considered moderate instability. And that will that along with some upper level low and kind of a cold front will actually provide lift for maybe some stronger storms. We don't have a lot of shear. The bulk shear values here in the 500 millibar layer is not very impressive. We're seeing some pretty weak shear. So any storms that do develop will be very slow movers. We're not going to see a big squall line or anything like that, but these storms will be slow movers. So a couple of weak microbursts are possible. We'll continue to watch that. And again, the lapse rates here, what could support the large hail threat, is pretty weak as well. So again, just mainly some gusty winds and some smaller hail. I don't think the large hail threat will be too prevalent because of the weak lapse rates, which is the cooling of the air column as you go up in the atmosphere. Really not that strong as we head into Friday. That will carry over into Saturday. We have another marginal risk across western Illinois, eastern Iowa, and portions of the Missouri Valley and the Missouri Ozarks as we head into your Saturday afternoon. Again, the same setup here, upper 60s to lower 70 dew points across that area. Some mid 2000 joule per kilogram instability, 2000 to 2500 joules per kilogram instability that could support some of these air parcels rising tall enough to create some stronger updrafts for those strong gusty winds. Again, the 500 millibar layer, very, very weak shear across this environment. Shear values around 20 to 30 knots at most. So again, a lot of slow moving storms out there, which could enhance some of the heavy rainfall as well. So if you get under one of these storms, you definitely could be talking about some heavy rainfall. And again, the large hail threat is really weak as we kind of move into Saturday as well. So mainly just a gusty wind threat. Again, not a squall line, but a couple scattered showers and storms that could become feisty enough for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some quarter-size hail as we move into Saturday. And you can see that here, a couple showers and storms, firing up across that western Illinois, eastern Iowa, and northern Missouri area that could be, providing enough lift, enough instability, enough oomph in the atmosphere to get some stronger storms. And yeah, you guys can see the storm system across the southwestern United States and the southern plains starting to take shape on your Saturday. That will bring some, pretty heavy rainfall across those areas into New Mexico, the Texas Panhandle, and eastern portions of Arizona as we move into Saturday afternoon. Very heavy rainfall possible around the Amarillo area, getting over toward Oklahoma City, and then portions there into eastern New Mexico as we head into the Saturday night into early Sunday timeframe with some lingering storms even farther northeast toward the Chicagoland area as well. Looking here at the next 72 hours, the next 2 to 3 days with precipitation, some heavier rainfall is possible across those areas here in the upper Midwest and western Great Lakes where that upper level low will be very slow to meander off to the east. But yeah, some beneficial rains there as well. Some of these areas in Iowa and Minnesota have missed out on the rainfall, so definitely going to catch up with that with rainfall amounts averaging around a ½ inch to 1.25 inches here across these areas. Some enhanced rainfall across eastern Iowa or northwestern Illinois and maybe even western Wisconsin could be up to around 1.5 inches at most. But definitely keeping my eye on the southwestern United States with all this monsoonal moisture and this next monster storm starting to bring some heavy rainfall and flash flooding across Arizona, especially southeastern Arizona and southwestern and southern New Mexico. Some of these areas over the next 72 hours could receive 2 to 4+ inches of rain, some very heavy rainfall across northwestern Mexico as well, and even some heavier rainfall across the immediate Gulf Coast here from the South Carolina all the way through the northern Florida Peninsula, through much of Georgia, and then all the way across to central Texas here. We definitely could be seeing some rainfall around 1 inch to 2 inches there as well. So looking at this here, putting this all together, yeah, the Weather Prediction Center, no surprise, they put a marginal to slight risk for excessive rainfall and flash flooding out there, which would mean an isolated to widely scattered flash flooding event would be possible across portions here of Arizona, southern Utah, and then getting across the immediate Gulf Coast here. This will be actually as we move through the day today. As we move into the day tomorrow, though, on your Friday and then into Saturday morning, there's more concern across southern portions there of Arizona and southwestern New Mexico with all that monsoonal moisture really starting to strengthen across these areas. The Weather Prediction Center has issued a moderate risk, which is not common, guys. This is pretty uncommon, especially in this part of the world with that monsoonal weather, and we definitely could be seeing life-threatening flash flooding potentially around the Phoenix area, down towards portions there of Tucson, and then in southwest here, the Albuquerque area. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that area, and even a slight risk extending all the way up towards portions of southern Utah and southwestern Colorado as well that we'll have to watch. And again, that marginal risk for excessive rainfall will continue across the southeastern United States and the deep south along the Gulf Coast there as we head into Friday afternoon. But as we head here, head into the weekend here time frame, this is going into early Sunday. Again, we'll start to see more rainfall continue as we head into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and this really continues as we head into Monday as well, and even into Tuesday, guys. So this will be a very slow moving but very potent thunderstorm type of complex that will really move from west to east across this area, dropping some pretty torrential rainfalls as well. So we'll continue to watch that, even some unsettled times with that upper level low finally shifting across New England as we get toward early and middle portion of next week. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from August 23rd through August 27th, getting toward the end of the month, does favor well above normal precipitation from North Texas, southeastern portions there of Oklahoma, much of the Mid-South, getting in toward the Tennessee Valley, and even slightly above normal precipitation from most of the Colorado Rockies, all the way up here into the northern plains and perhaps down towards southern California, South central Nevada as well. Some below normal precipitation or near normal is favored across, most of the western Great Lakes and more, most of the upper Midwest, and across the Pacific Northwest, kind of below normal there as well, with that ridge continuing with all that heat. So looking across these areas, what we can expect for rainfall, like I said, a monster storm is on the way. We definitely could see a lot of flooding even across Texas. I know we have a lot of drought down here, a lot of runoff here. Even though we have a drought, if you get heavy enough rainfall rates, we'll definitely see a lot of runoff here with this. Again, right along the Red River here in Oklahoma, Texas, from Wichita Falls back over toward Amarillo, south and eastward toward the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Texarkana, and really over towards Tyler, Texas, College Station, over towards the Alexandria, Louisiana area. Definitely going to be watching here. The European forecast model is going out with 3 to 6 plus inches across most of East Texas, northern and northwestern Louisiana, and southern Arkansas. So we'll continue to watch that, including near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll continue here as we, this goes all the way through Friday, August 26th through, late next week. The GFS model, not as bullish, but a little farther south as well, but still across most of Texas, getting into Louisiana here along the immediate Gulf Coast with the GFS model. It's still, showing here rainfall amounts between 2 and 4 plus inches across this area as well. So definitely some much needed rainfall is on the way. I do promise you that, guys, across Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, where they definitely do need it with that drought. Along with this, again, even though we have the drought with these very heavy rainfall rates, the Weather Prediction Center has gone out and, several days ahead of time and put out a slight risk for flash flooding, which means scattered flash flooding is possible across most of North Texas, the Texas Panhandle, far eastern New Mexico, and southern portions there of Oklahoma and southwestern Arkansas as we head into Sunday into Monday. And then that continues from Monday into Tuesday. Again, this will move southward toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area, towards portions there of, central Texas, over towards northwestern Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas, and southern portions of Oklahoma near the Red River, including Texarkana, Shreveport. Some of these areas could be experiencing some flash flooding early next week. Looking even farther toward the very end of August, we do still have a signal from the Climate Prediction Center's forecast for above normal precipitation across much of these areas in the monsoonal areas of the four corners of the U.S., all the way over towards portions there of the East Coast and the Deep South across Texas as well, as we move towards the August 25th through the 31st timeframe to close the month of August and move into September. So this is your tropical weather update. We are watching here an area across the Bay of Campeche here into the southwestern Gulf of Mexico for another tropical system that could develop over the next 2 to 5 days. The National Hurricane Center at last update did have a 20% chance of this developing in the next 2 days and a 30% chance of development over the next 5 days across this area. So we'll continue to watch that. The latest satellite imagery does show this kind of starting to organize a little bit more over land, not quite over the water yet, but this is the system we're watching here, and that will push off to the north and west towards eastern Mexico and perhaps southern Texas toward the Brownsville area as we head through the next few days. And looking at this here across just most of the Atlantic Basin as well, that active period is still on track across portions of late August here going into early September across the southern Atlantic Basin. The European forecast model 24-hour guidance here does show some anomalies showing up across the southern Atlantic Basin and trending over towards the eastern Caribbean. So we'll continue to watch that here as we get toward the end of the month next week. And the GFS not as bullish as it was a day or so ago, so that's some good news if you don't want any hurricanes or anything like that, but definitely still seeing a little bit of a signal coming off of Western Africa into the southern Atlantic Basin towards the Lesser Antilles with the GFS model run for this as well. So we'll continue to watch that, guys. And it looks like pretty favorable if any storm systems, tropical systems do develop in this environment with the warmer water starting to, start to develop, as well as the, less wind shear. Hurricanes like a lot of less wind shear here. So this will definitely be beneficial for a developing potentially even a robust tropical system as we move towards the last legs here of August and going into early September. So we'll watch that. And even looking at the GFS, the potential vorticity with this is there right off the western African coast, potentially as we get toward the very last couple of days here of August. Again, this is still a little far out, but we'll continue to watch it. The trends are there that, the active weather pattern that we've been awaiting is starting to come into view as we get towards the end of August, and especially and probably even into early September. So we will watch that. Thank you all for watching my video. I definitely appreciate you guys. You guys are an amazing audience. Thank you guys for all the subscribers out there, all the likes on the videos, and all the comments down below. I definitely appreciate all you guys. Remember to like the video again today, and jot down any comments, questions, concerns. I'll get to those later on today. And guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Most importantly, we're almost to 1,000 subscribers. Definitely please support the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Tell friends, family, anybody you know, and definitely subscribe. It's free to do. Thank you guys very much. I hope you have a great rest of your week here, a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next video.